So yeah, nice visitor center out here. It's open Tuesday through Saturdays, 9 to 5.
That's right.
The Horne Creek Living Farm. There's some cats on the property so far. We're gonna go and walk around and see what else we find. But cool little visitor center. Two cats we've seen now. We're gonna put some paperwork they gave us in the visitor center in the car, and then we're gonna walk around and check this farm out.
Ancient peach trees that we found out here. They're growing.
So yeah, they have several dozen peach trees out here, and they sell peaches here at this farm. But what's really crazy is they got over 900 apple trees and over 450 different types of apples, and each tree, I don't know if you call it species or what, each type of apple tree has its backup tree.
And they're growing corn too.
And yeah, they're growing corn down here. Check it out. These are the peach trees. So yeah, they have it's like a living farm, and it's supposed to take you back. Their focus here at this historic site is 1900 to 1913, and basically it gives people an idea of what's like farm life was like back then. And the Hoosier family, this is their farm. And there's some structures here that are original and some that are restored, but check this out. We found an old barn. Huh. So what is this?
Check this out.
What is this structure?
It's a tobacco carrying barn.
That's right. And it opens up.
That's the doghouse.
It might be hard to see in here, but they would have tobacco hanging down and heat running through. But anyway, that gives you an idea of what a tobacco carrying barn would be like from that time period of 1900 to 1913. Hopefully you can see that all right, but behind me there's this thing here used for sorghum. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I guess they sold and made sorghum syrup, and it would go around and around. Maybe you would hook up horse, donkeys, whatever, and turn it. Sorghum is common furnace items you can find still today. Some of them, we know where one is in the Uwaris, but that was used to moonshine purposes though. But check this out, another
of that they call it.
vat. There's a pipe coming out, and then that's what that looks like. These trees here,
More things.
more of the orchard. And we were told by the visitor center that they take saplings from their apples and their peaches, and they sell those trees as well from time to time. And they do corn shucking in the fall, sheep where they shave the wool off in the spring. So kind of a cool place, and it's adjacent to the Pilot Mountain River section. But really cool little find. We thought we would stop by here and check it out before we hit the other site, which is the river section of the Pilot Mountain State Park. We're going to hit that next. But here's the rest of that road that goes down. There's cemeteries down here. So the farm is closed at about 5 o'clock. And remember, it's just Tuesday through Saturday. But you can access a cemetery actually from the river section of Pilot Mountain State Park, if you know where to go. But for now, we're going to keep walking this little roadway and come up to the next few structures, and then we'll see what we find. Outhouse is what that is, and we have found and located some chickens. Rooster. Let me see what these are.
Turkeys and guineas.
Turkeys and guineas? Check this out. And a rooster? That's what a dry house will look like. You put your stuff in there, you got your heat source going.
Sheep is in the corn crib, man.
We found sheep.
They're in the corn.
The restored Hoosier house. They got some about 5% in the house as original furniture. The rest of it was, what do you call it? They got it restored and they made it pieces from that time period. But this would be like the living room, I guess. Original picture of the family. What do you think?
Pretty cool. Dragon's tree.
Porch. Kitchen. So it's kind of cool that you can walk inside this house He found another bedroom right in here. You can go upstairs as well. Very common for rooms to have multiple beds in them, shared bedrooms. And then these are probably locked. So yeah, 2 stories. The deck's locked on the 2nd story, but still cool. Oh yeah, you had a, what'd you say?
The attic everybody knows about.
Open this little door and it goes up to an attic. You have to shine a light. Whoa.
Hold
Huh. So yeah, kind of neat. Gives you an idea what it would look like back in that time period. Says that this structure here was like a fruit house. They grew a lot of fruit in that time period on this farm. So that's called a fruit house. We found another cat on the road down here. You cannot bring your own pets, obviously. It's a historic site. Those you would leave at home and you bring yourself here. But these cats belong on the farm. And we now have a horse on the property, grazing.
This is the feed barn. Big dog in there.
Old farm dog is here. Hello, farm dog.
Dog too.
Hey, say hello. He wants to be left alone in his crib. Cool place. So saw a horse, some sheep, about 3 cats so far, a dog, guineas, turkey, rooster. So pretty cool. Now their old cemetery, we're gonna walk and end it there, but it's definitely worth checking out if you're gonna come out here to Pilot Mountain on the river access. We found some goats, I think, just now. Let's check these out. They're right here. What's up, goats? And more out there. So yeah, really cool. Check it out sometimes. The Horne Creek Farm, living farm. It's an active farm, and they it's worth a visit for sure. So anyway, we're gonna check out the cemetery and we'll wrap this video up there. And then if we see anything else on the way, we'll hit you up. So what do we find here?
Graveyard right after the barn. Unbelievable.
This is the one, it's the trail behind the barns that goes to the river section of the state park too. But the Hauser, how do you say it? H-A-U-S-E-R. The Hauser family was here doing this farm, 1800s, even earlier before that, as it passed down generation to generation. The dates on some of these graves are 1847, 1850s, 1840s. So well marked Hauser family there. Above it is the other family that worked the farm as well, the Sawyers. Right above it is got the last name Sawyers. As an example. And then there are some unmarked graves above this. These are some unmarked graves. They go up that way. These are a few stones over there. Can't see it very well. And then that's, of course, the gate to get into the farm and going up toward the farmhouse. So really cool. We're going to work our way back up toward the parking area. There may be one or two structures there, but this just gives you an idea of what the farming life would have been like. It's worth a stop. We probably spent maybe an hour here looking around at some of the structures. You can go inside the house and go upstairs. That's kind of neat to see. So yeah, y'all should check it out. Look it up. They got a website. They're on Facebook and Instagram as well. And then we're going to wrap this video up. Next is we're going to drive down the road to the new renovated section of the Pilot Mountain Yadkin River section, the Bean Shoals access. And we're going to go check that out and film it. Yep, part of it. So yeah, all this stuff out there too. As part of that renovation now, no more driving across or driving through Horne Creek. Now they got it 3 culvert bridges and at a cost of $3.6 million through a grant with Surrey County. They got these bridges done, about 1,500 foot of streamland restoration on Horne Creek. There's supposed to be a parking area built. We're gonna check that out, a scenic overlook. And there you have it. I've only been here one time by myself before these renovations, and I had to park way off and walk because I wasn't comfortable driving through the streams in my vehicle, since it's not four-wheel drive or anything. But now, no problem. It's all been fixed. No driving through no streams anymore. Guys, this is weird to me. I'm used to not being able to drive over this. But all that you see, that's stream restoration is what's been going, you know, they did that, and that's the third culvert we drove over. So that part's very nice. Impressive. Folks, this is the new parking area. It closed February of 24 for about a year and opened up February of 25. And now we're in, you know, we're in August of 25 right now, and this is our first time here with renovations. And Ethan's first time here on this section at all. But this whole parking area is now new and much wider. They have the picnic area, and they say this is the lookout, scenic lookout. But you're not going to see the river very well here, the Yadkin River. 2 miles of the river runs through the park. And this is the really well-built picnic shelter. And you go to the end here for your scenic lookout. However, you get there is an active railroad track that goes through the park. It's down there. I don't know how you can see it. But the leaves are on the trees right now. But in the winter, late fall, when the leaves are gone, you get a really good look of the Yadkin River that runs through there. They said you can fish here if you got your fishing license. We do have the poles. There's largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass here. We're going to just throw a few in and see, but it's real muddy because it's rained lately. But anyway, interesting. But 2 miles of the river runs through here. The Bean Shoals, the story is, that was back in the 1820 to 1825. A guy out of Hillsboro had an idea to come in here and needed to have ships come all the way through the state, through the Yadkin River. But there was shoals out here. This was just a rocky area, really shallow waters. So the idea was to build a canal. The 20-foot walls are still here. We get to see them today, and we'll film those. And there's, you know, they abandoned the project. They couldn't get it done. So they couldn't get that canal built to where ships could bypass this section of the shoals in the Yadkin River. Horne Creek flows through the property into the Yadkin River. There is a spot you can hike here to that cemetery at the farm. The Horne Creek family farm is a historic site. It's not part of the state park, but you can access the cemetery without having to go to the park, even if it was closed, as far as the farm goes. Now, there's 2 islands here. There is a 45-acre island. Some people call it Fishing Island. There's 2 campsites there. You have to reserve those. They're for, I guess, people who paddle the river. You can do that. There's another island. It's about 15 acres. You can wade across if it's not too deep and go to the islands. You just can't camp overnight here on state property section of it. So let's go check it out and see what we can come up with. So when I travel with the rods, of course I can break them down or whatever, but you see I have a medicine bottle, empty medicine bottle on my line. All I do is, so I don't have to keep retying my lure, it's on there already. When I travel, I just open it, or if I'm hiking with it, there's my topwater jig ready to go.
Wow.
But then you can put it inside and put your lid on through the line if you need to travel or hike them in somewhere.
Just have some slack and you're good to go.
And you're not getting hooked or anything.
Not bad.
Little trick. We're on the railroad track. It's active. It's not abandoned. It's real close to the parking lot. The Bean Shoals Trail is only about a half mile from the parking lot one way. It will cross the railroad track and go down this way. But still, makes a good picture though. And the river is right over here. We can check that out. We'll check the river out real quick. It's a little muddy, like I say, because that rain. We've had a lot of rain lately. And it may be up. I don't know. It looks like it's up. And then you got the Horne Creek Trail's 2.5 miles. But you gotta be careful. So hey, so you got about a half mile one way on Bean Shoals, You got another 2.5 mile trail, the Horne Creek out here, that's 2.5 miles one way. So there's 3, 4, that's about 5 miles. If you really want to get some mileage, you can do the quarter trail, which is 6.6 miles one way, that connects the southern part of this state park to the one that everybody goes to, the Pilot Mountain knob part. These connects by the quarter trail. So that's 6.5 one way, just with that particular trail. The horses can use it as well. But anyway, we're gonna roam around this trail and see if we can fish a little bit and see if we can find those canal walls. There's a little view of the river and the shoals. Right across there, that's an island. That's Fishing Island, what the locals call it. But that's an island right there. God, there's no bank there. It's too overgrown.
Check it out, guys.
There's the canal, part of the canal wall. That's pretty cool, man. I mean, this is a huge section of this canal wall that was done 1820, 1825. That's one of the walls that's still here. In a minute, I'll stay on the side of it. Give you a perception of how big it is. I mean, that's the canal wall still in place from 1820 to 1825-ish. Railroad track probably wasn't even here, but the very end gets taller, so they say it's about 20 foot. But that's a lot of work that went into this to try to get around this rock shoal area with shipping. You know, they were going to have locks installed where the boat goes in, and then the water level is good enough to get them through. But this is evidence of it. This is what's cool about getting out, and this is the other Pilot Mountain that people don't explore, is the river section. Now, we were able to throw some lures just in a few spots. The banks are not good through here, this portion of it on Ben Shoals Trail for fishing. But if it hadn't rained and the water's more clear, we could wade out at shallow and then cast in the open, which we may come back and do that later. And I recommend coming when the leaves are off the trees for that overlook. We're gonna walk on down and check out this back side of the wall. What's happening? A lot of social media has these posts, these pictures like this. So hey, we just did it. But you gotta be careful because there's a lot of mud bees that build nests up in here on the ceiling. awesome canal section again. All along this Bean Shoals trail is parts of that canal stone wall. Bean Shoals Trail is conquered. We have done it. It's pretty to hike along the river, and you got the river on one side of you, a railroad track on the other. So we're going to hike the railroad track back to the Horne Creek Trail and go from there. But limited fishing spots. We did a few casts, but like I say, it's muddy water because it's been raining lately. It is shallow, so you can definitely wade across if you wanted to. But yeah, so we'll hit that other trail, and once we get there, we'll hit you back up.